bringing more people for him to feed, right? So most men, let me tell you, men who don't mind spending 100%, I've heard this conversation. They're like, I'm already taking care of myself, right? So you moving in my place, that's not a big deal because I'm already holding down this house. Now, let's say you come with 4 kids. You just can't move in his place. So he has to get a bigger household because you're coming with more people. And the expectation is still for him to pay 100%, even though you're coming with extra bodies that he did not create.
Let me correct that real quick. But see, with me, because I have been in that situation.
Okay.
But I also pay like I weigh. So therefore, I never put my responsibility on anyone because I have, as you say, 7 kids. So with that being said, I always make sure I hold my own. I don't expect the man to, maybe I can need to rephrase it. I want him to be able to provide, but I'm not saying provide for my baggage, as you say, or my kids or my family. But if we together, I just can't just say we together. We got a house together. And I have my children. I'm not asking you to take care of them, buy them anything, do anything. I'm going to handle that. But when it comes down to the mortgage or anything like that, I just feel like that he should be able to provide. I feel like he should be able to pay that because you should realize I'm coming with a package. So you see that before anything, you should know if you can handle that package or not. I just feel when it come down to that, I just feel like I want to be with a man that's secure, that he can handle it, that he can be there. Because also, I'm going to be able to back you too. Because I'm the type of woman, if you need me or you in the corner or something happen to you, I'm going to be able to back us. So basically what I'm saying is be able to back me. If something happens, if you fall, I can catch you. If I fall, you can catch me.
Can I jump in?
Sure.
That's some bullshit. Okay, let me tell you why.
Why?
Let me tell you why. Because here's the deal, and I think a lot of women have that mindset. But listen, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but here's the deal. If you come with 7 kids and you're coming into a house, that means he has to get a house that can take care of enough bedrooms. And you're like, okay, and then you're saying I'm not going 50-50. Girl, he has to get a whole bigger unit because of the kids that you're coming with. And I think that's selfish to have that expectation. I think you should want to contribute I think you should want to contribute because you're coming with so many people that he has to take care of. And I think you a boss, so I'm not going to take that away from you. But see, because I'm a person, this is why I think this probably is my masculine trait. Like you said earlier, I'm a boss. I have to go work and get it. And I literally have to go work and get it. So because I know how hard I have to work just to maintain what I live, flip it. If I was a man and if I met a woman and she was like, you got to pay for everything.
No, I'm not saying.
But the whole thing was you said 50-50 because the question was, this was a good question for you. The question was, could you date someone who only believes in 50-50 household responsibilities? And you're adamant, like if you were, because you said he don't got to do anything for you. But if y'all live together, he's paying for the mortgage that your kids are living in. So it's unrealistic. Like he's doing stuff for your kids if y'all live in a house with 7 kids.
Well, no, I mean, I get that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the type, because like I said, I'm a giver. I'm just basically saying, I don't want to be, you know how sometimes you go on a date and you get the check and they be like, okay, it's $100 and you got to pull out 50. Like, that's what I'm talking about. But as far as being there for my man and who I'm with, like,
No, let's make it easy. The date I agree with. We go on, the question is 50-50 household responsibilities, meaning you would have to pay half of the bills. But if you stand on your stand, I can have my opinion, you can have your opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to, you don't have to agree with me. But the question is like, in this beautiful, like a guy has this beautiful house. How old are your kids? Do you tell your kids?
Well, yeah, I got older kids.
Okay, so how old are your kids?
30, 28. See, they older. So 30, 28, 26, 24, 19, 11, and 7.
So really just the 11 and the 7.
That's it.
Okay, so that's a little, the only ones that live with you, they bounce with you.
That's it.
Okay,
my 19-year-old, she's not with her sister.
Gotcha, okay. So basically at the most, you really kind of come with 3 kids that he would have to live in the household. But you still feel it makes sense that if you met this man, he should pay the mortgage, including the household that would include your 3 kids too. And you shouldn't contribute you shouldn't contribute any money to the mortgage.
I mean, I probably would, but I just don't like the fact of the mortgage due, and you be like, okay, babe, where's your half? Like, that's a turn off for me. Like, I just feel like if you need me to do it, you know I'm there to do it. But if you don't need me to do it, I don't feel like you should ask, because I contribute other ways.
That's true too, but I think this is why this is messing up a lot of women, because I think what a lot of women don't realize is there's a lot of women who contribute to the household. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of women that at sometimes he might be down and she's holding down the fort.
Exactly.
Like I have a friend who was, she's still married, but I believe when they got married, he was playing a professional sport. I don't want to say what it was, but he got hurt. Like I want to say maybe a year or two into their marriage. Now, if she was just there because of that, then she would have been out, but she wasn't there just because of that. And then, you know, when it's one thing when you like lose those jobs, which are very lucrative, but there's so many things that go through that person's mind. Like your whole life you play that sport. Now you're hurt, so you can't ever fulfill that dream to the highest of the level. That money that you were making is now gone. What do you do next? So you have to deal with all those emotions too. But while her husband was going through that, she had to woman up and hold down the family. And I respected it, right? And then, you know, tables turn again. But that's what marriage is. Like anybody married for many years are gonna tell you like, yo, sometimes it works and then I had to hold it down, and then, you know, he got sick or I was sick and he held it down. Like it's really that partnership where that job title of provider with income can switch several times throughout a marriage, right?
See, I'm cool with that. Like that's the point I was trying to make. Like you be there for me, I be there for you. It's just that you baby get half of the rent or go in your account and or the mortgage. I just can't. Okay,
what do you say to this? Right now you pay 100% by yourself. So if you pay 50%, why?
I mean, no, it's not that. I just feel like, I guess it depends on how the man want to carry it. Because you know how some men be like, they want you to be submissive to them. They want this. So I feel like if you want that, then you should lead. And that's what you get. If you want the old school type, the granddaddy out working, the mom at home with the wife and kids. But as you know, now it's totally different.
Right.
And see, I lived that life before, and it's crazy. Now I'm almost 45.
So you lived what life before?
I was married before.
And then and you were.
But I was younger.
Was you the breadwinner?
No.
Okay, so he was the breadwinner. So you had it. So why did you leave it?
Oh, I would have to sit on your couch for that one. But you know, and then also, you know, have a fiance, and that's going on too. But,
so you're engaged right now?
Right.
Okay.
So that's going on too. So it's just a lot. It's a lot going on.
Is your fiance on the board of you? Is 100% he paying all the bills?
No.
Oh, okay. So you wouldn't do it.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the part of you saying 50-50. It ain't like, okay, you be like, okay, well, this is 50-50. And he gonna ask for my half in the mortgage.
You don't want that?
No, it's just asking part. I just feel like you should just go ahead and do it. And if you need my help, then I come along, you know.
Is that the dynamic with your fiance?
It's somewhat. But that's a little complicated.
Okay,
you gotta cut this out.
okay.
That, like I said, okay, yes, take two.
But okay, let me just package it. I will say this. Every girl's not going to get that 100% package. So let's just start there, okay? It's just one thing I've learned while hosting my dating show, and also just being in media and living so many places, life is not one size fit all. And this is the problem that we're having, because everyone wants to get I don't know, I used to say the Lori Harvey package, or, you know, who was going from like, Lori Harvey could absolutely say, you got to have $1 million in the bank to date me.
She get it from her mama.
well, the only reason I can say it is because that was her reality. Like I have like here is the rule of thumb if you want to know if you're being unrealistic or not. If you have two options that want to date you in the way you say you want to be dated and are willing to do the things that you require, then you're not unrealistic. You know, because you have so let me give the full example. So if your requirement is you got to be 6 feet, you got to make a certain amount of money, and you have to be willing to pay all of my bills if we get together, and you have 2 or more men who are chasing you and who can fulfill that, then you're not unrealistic, because that is some women's reality. Like some women, absolutely, that is their reality. You know, I live in California. These girls they so beautiful, they don't pay rent.
Right.
Like that's just what, like, I mean, so that's some girls' reality. What happened is that girl got an Instagram page, and now everybody sees this beautiful girl and her lifestyle. So now that became the standard for every girl. And the bottom line is, it's just not the package for every single woman. I'm okay with knowing that I probably could have received the lifestyle I live via a man, but it wouldn't have been a healthy dynamic, right? Like it would have, like I know it would have been some toxic shit I would have had to tolerate to live the way that I provide for myself, right? But I love that I don't gotta compromise. I mean, I gotta work,
but you don't have to compromise.
I don't gotta compromise. You know, I got the stress of the work part, and it could be stressful at times, but I don't have to compromise my integrity because I figured out a way to make it happen for myself. And it was so interesting because now, and I don't know what I posted, but there's like an algorithm on Instagram of women teaching girls where wealthy men are. Like, this is where you go if you want a wealthy man. This is what you need to do. Yes. And then and there's a woman she's married. I don't know her name, but she's like, there's a couple of them though. There are a couple of women who are married to like, and their husbands are older. So their husbands are older, and they're giving the advice on how these women could, you know, where they need to go to meet men like this, and what they should look for to meet men like their husbands. And I'm just like,
yeah, it's crazy.
I just feel like,
so it's not real love anymore. It's all about money and fancy. I want real love. I mean, I'm not about, I know I said what I said, but I'm not about money. I'm really not. I just like to be happy and love and at peace.
Well, that's what everybody says, but then before you get to real happy and love at peace, he got to fit these other prerequisites first. So they say that, but first he got to be tall, he got to make a certain amount of money, and then we'll focus on the real love. So I hear you, girlfriend.
Yeah. But look, so the other day, right, I was looking and I seen your experience with Janet Jackson, and I wanted to cry. Like, I got teary-eyed. You know why? Because I have a story about her. But let's talk about your experience that day. Did you know that you was going to be able to ask her a question? So
what happened at the time, so first of all, before I wanted to be all the things I am now, I was obsessed with Janet Jackson. Like, obsessed. It was bad. Like, to the point, I remember in high school, like, it was like known in the city, I was Janet Jackson's #1 fan, and there was a girl that went to a different high school. This is how petty I was, that was going around saying she was Janet Jackson's #1 fan. I got her phone number. Crazy. This is crazy because this girl could have beat my ass. Called her and I said, I just want you to know that I'm Janet Jackson's #1 fan, and the reason I'm a #1 fan over you is because I got your number to call you to tell you. This is some crazy shit.
Oh, wow.
I really did that. So I was obsessed. So what happened, I was doing radio in Buffalo, New York, and we were going to Much More Music is Toronto's version of MTV. And we were going to Much More Music. And when we got there, they were like, we need 2 people to ask Janet a question. So I go over to the person picking people to ask the questions. And I was like, I want to ask Janet Jackson a question. And he was like, what you want to ask her? And I was like, I don't know, give me the question and I ask her, because I already knew everything about her. And he was like, okay. And he gave me the question. He gave me the question. So then I was, I'm hosting my own radio show at this time, right? In Buffalo, New York. So it was like me and then 2 other people had a question. And they brought us into the audience before they brought everybody. And I'm standing in my space. And then it hit me. I was like, I'm about to ask Janet Jackson a question. And it was like, and then I
probably fell out.
Oh my God, I just started crying so much because it was, Janet Jackson to me was God. Like literally at this time, Janet Jackson was God for me. So she comes out first. It's the year of the Super Bowl, but people didn't know. So that was, and people don't even know that Janet Jackson after the Super Bowl was banned from television in America for many years. So I don't think I even knew that in that moment. But it's the Super Bowl year. She's getting so much hell from the world with the boob out and all those things. So she comes out, does her song, and I'm crying because it's like Janet Jackson's like right in front of my face. And like, since I was a child, like I'm gonna like show you like pictures. Like I didn't know the word manifestation then, but now clearly I manifested this moment.
You did.
So the host says, right now we have a question from Kendra who was crying earlier. And then literally the camera comes to me and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to Janet Jackson. I'm like, I came all the way from America bitch, you drove from Buffalo, New York. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you drove an hour to get there.
Yes, that's what I heard you say.
Like, I was in Buffalo, New York. And then, like, you know, I was like, I came all the way from America just for this moment. But really, that Kendra, what I love, it was my first television interview, too. And it with Janet Jackson. And what it did was, for me, it really broke my ceiling for dreaming, because A, I get to finally manifest and talk to Janet Jackson. B, she comes off the stage and like gives me a hug because
I know.
because I'm
I was
crying
like,
so much.
oh my God.
And then at that moment, I'm just like, and people are like, because I said to her, keep going, don't, because people like me need you. I was talking like, you know, I was speaking that over her because the world was being so heavy because the Super Bowl year after she got, you know, ostracized from the Super Bowl. But I remember when she was wiping my tears. And I mean, since this moment,
Because she whispered something to you.
She was like, "Don't cry, don't cry." So, what people, I don't know if people know, I've had many moments with Janet Jackson since this is the first moment, but now I've had many more moments since then. But at that moment, I was like, the first thing I was like, she looks like a fucking doll. Like, she was so perfect.
Yes.
It was like, and she didn't even like look human, but she's on my tears. Was like, she looks like a doll. Like, she doesn't look like human. But then I realized she was human, and I was like, wait a minute. Janet Jackson's human? Like,
Right.
this wasn't like an AI? Like, all the things that she's done, a human being did, and I was set free.
Once you there, you get to see, like, it really hit you.
No, yeah, it set me free, and it let me know that the difference with, TV, all this makes us look bigger than what we are, but no, I'm literally a human just like the person watching right now.
Right.
And if you can get that in your mindset, then you can know that we're literally on the same playing field if you're willing to put the work and dedication in. So when I realized that she was human, like literally a woman just like me, it was like, oh, okay, then I could do anything in this life because Janet Jackson has done everything in this life. So, man,
I didn't have that experience like you had, but because I love Michael Jackson.
Oh, I didn't know Michael.
No, I didn't either.
Oh, okay.
No, I love Michael Jackson, and then I love Janet Jackson as well. So I'm like, well, I never get to see Michael Jackson, and you know, I had kids younger, so during those times, I really wasn't. I was like a housewife in my 20s. So therefore, now that I'm older and my kids older, I can experience more things. I went to the Janet Jackson concert in Atlanta. And I'm so last minute, and I booked a flight on the Frontier Airlines. I don't know if it's from flying from RDU to Atlanta, if that's like the turbulence, but I was literally crying on the plane because I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what if this plane about to crash or what. And I was feeling so bad. I was like, I'm about to die trying to go see Janet Jackson. Like, my kids, like, what they gonna think, you know? But I'm telling you, she did an amazing show. And she is so pretty. Like, when she was on stage, I was crying because I'm just looking at her like, oh my God, she is so pretty. So I know how you feel, because I probably would feel like that if I meet Mary J. Blige.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like I know everybody love Mary too, but I feel like I'm her biggest fan, and I go to all her shows, and I be on the front row, and I'm like, maybe one day she'll be like, you know, call me on stage or something. So, you know,
we'll see if we can make that happen.
Yes. But so Kendra girl, cousin, what would you give some advice if you had your own situation, you know, of loving wrong? What would you give to me, any women, your cousins, anybody, you know?
Yes. Loving wrong, I've loved wrong, child. I hope people don't think that I have like this. No, I have a lot of things that I speak about are the lessons I learned from my own personal experiences. What I would say about loving wrong is give yourself grace and get the lesson, right? Ooh. Because give yourself grace, because sometimes you might have a reason that the world can't understand. Like, I had to learn grace for women with children, because I think, you know, we talked about this, because I'm not a mom. There's a lot of risk that I can take, a lot of things that I can do, that if you're a mother, you probably can't take those risks, because it's not just about you no more. You got other mouths to feed. So I've learned grace for women in particular that stay with men in dynamics I probably wouldn't stay, but they chose to stay because of the family dynamic. And I have to respect that. Like Mama T, who I love, Beyonce's mother, she talks about this in The Matriarch in her book. And I think if you are a woman who's married or children, get Mama T's book, because I think it's going to help you give insight on how, as a wife, when she was going through certain things with infidelity with her husband, the decisions she made in order to keep her family together. You know, and I think there's a lot of women. The biggest thing that I hate the most is that I always tell people this, and you've been married, so you probably know this already, but I always tell people who truly desire marriage to get real life married friends, because real life married friends tell you real life things other than the Instagram. Oh, he bought me a car for my birthday. Like, you know, like people just see that. And then because that dopamine of, I want that, but they never know the journey that got them there, right? So if you're a woman who's loved wrong, I would say give yourself grace, but then really learn to love yourself right, because that's the superpower. The superpower is when you're being loved wrong by a man, it's because you don't love yourself right. Because if you loved yourself right, then when someone is trying to love you wrong, you would just disconnect, because it's like, I don't even tolerate that. Like, and I have friends, and I've been thinking about some of my lessons from my married friends. And one in particular, like a lot of my friends who are married, their standard of non-bullshit is like non-negotiable. And I remember during my dating times, one of my girlfriends was like, that man don't like you. You know, like, and I'll be like, girl, how you know? Like, he doesn't like you, because if he liked you, da-da-da-da. And it's like the things you don't want to hear, but you need those friends in your life. But really,
real friends.
You need real friends. But really what I had to realize is, why don't I like me? Because it's never about other people. Other people are just giving you a mirror of how you treat yourself. So if you're loving someone wrong, find out why are you loving yourself wrong and fix that shit immediately. Because once you start to love yourself right, then everybody else is either going to rise to the occasion, or they're going to fall off, and you're not going to care, because listen,
because you in love, you loving yourself.
Yeah, this is just my standard. Like, let me, and look, sometimes you got to let go of friends, family members. Like, we spend so much conversation about relationship, but I want this to be a standard for all relationships, right? Like, don't just make it a standard for your romantic relationship. Have a way that is a standard for how your mama treats you, your best friend treats you, your coworker treats you. And then when you have this non-negotiable standard overall, then you're going to be loved right.
Right. That's good. So with that being said, because I was going to ask you, but you already did that. You already uplifted me, and because, you know, I'm going through things myself. And just to hear you talk, and that really encouraged me as far as loving myself. And I think I really need to start doing that more. And I think my relationships with family, relationships, friends will, you know, go smoother.
Yeah, I feel like, and I said this in my second episode of a podcast, I've always been a lively person. And if anyone watches me and everything, they will know that my mother's death just changed my life forever. Like, I've always been ambitious, but when my mother died, I became fearless, because I feel like, I'm not looking for my dad passing. Like, that's gonna break me down to the core, and other people, of course, too. But when my mother died, I had never, I've heard of death, right? And I had people that I knew died, but my mother was my favorite human, right? So to experience that and then have to still go on life without her, I thought I would never be happy. So, but it's become my superpower, because even when things get hard, I be like, I survived that. Like, child will survive anything. That's one lesson. And then the other lesson is the blessing of being alive. I think we have to just get to the base. The blessing of being alive. I don't care what dynamic you are in life right now. If you are breathing, you are blessed, because there's literally somebody in a grave that wished for your problems. They will switch with you in a heartbeat. And if we make life that simple, just the fact I woke up today, like, I'd never been to Raleigh, and I was going to leave, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy.
I'm going to make sure you enjoy today.
I'm going to enjoy, because one thing about me is I work so much. Like, I'm always working. I have there's a lot of jobs in my job, right? So it's literally, I could work and start the next thing I got to do. And what I'm learning is I'm kind of dedicated to working really, really hard until the end of this year. But come January, like I really, if not January, by like May, I might just take a 6-month vacation. Like I'm like,
I can't see you doing it.
Well, 6 months vacation to a certain degree. Potentially I can. Like I want to travel. Part of me is kind of thinking about moving to Dubai, child. I be thinking about I love Dubai so much. Maybe I should move to Dubai, child. But I just want people to think of living like Disney World. Like if you've ever been to Disney World, and I went to Disney World as an adult, and I had the best time ever. I was like, no wonder kids love Disney World.
Magical.
I was 20 and loved Disney World. I was like, I don't want to leave at 20. But that's what life is. Like just being on Earth right now is so amazing, and there's so many things that people can do, but we miss out on that basic trait because we not married, or he ain't acting right, or I don't got kids yet, or I'm going through
I got kids, I can't do this.
Yeah, you got kids and you can't go nowhere. Like find the blessing in the moment and attach yourself to that thought process only. There's a blessing in every moment. So you brought up something that I don't talk about a lot because it's not my reality, but that's the motherhood part. And I think there's a lot of moms who feel like, oh, I can't go outside because I have kids and this is the time right now. But guess what, honey? Live in that moment, because when it's all said and done, those are the moments you're really going to remember. Like the moments, like I'm fortunate enough my mother was dying. It was a dying process. So I got to be there with her throughout that dying journey. And it was just, now that is something I will always be grateful for God and giving me that. Because sometimes people die and you not there, you never got to say what you wanted to say. But I just want people, and I speak a lot to women, but an overall human thing is find the blessing in the now, focus on that and enjoy life. Because I promise you, without ever even meeting you, I know you have something to be blessed about.
Oh, I am. My kids, it's like,
yeah.
that's what I love. And then now that my girls, I'm going to say my girls, because the boys, they do their own thing. But my girls now, it feel good because they're older. And I really want to start traveling with them and being with them. And believe it or not, they're the ones who really encourage me to do what I'm doing now.
I love it.
Because they all out there. My oldest daughter, she's in social media. My baby girl, my middle girl, not so much, but she's gonna get there. She's more like me. But we're gonna get there, and you're gonna see their faces real soon.
I love it.
Yeah, but I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to interview you. This is my first time. You made it comfortable. You made it, you made it great. This experience was great. And you are bubbly, you down to earth. And, it's just amazing. And it's just that when you did that Janet Jackson, I was like, wow. Like I had an experience, not your experience, but I just, felt that. Like I said, with the Mary J. Blige, like I love Mary J. Blige. Like I love her. And I seen that when you with Janet Jackson, so I know how I would probably pass out. Like I probably would see her pass out, wouldn't even get a chance to say hello or anything. So with you being that person, being humble, you are beautiful, you bad, like you just got it all. You belong in Beverly Hills, like you nowhere else. You belong in Beverly Hills, and I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity. And I want to give the person their flowers while they are here.
This is so sweet.
Yes,
Can I say something back to you?
Yes.
I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. First of all, I'm humble that you wanted me as your first guest for your podcast. So that was very humbling. Shout out to Barry.
Yes,
who put this together. But thank you for the opportunity of getting me my first time ever in Raleigh. And thank you for this conversation. And I want to just say, keep going. Like your voice matters. Like this is your voice matters. And whether you impact 1 or 10 million, like you did God's work. Yeah. So I'm happy that what you had inside of you, you birthed and you did the secret that most people don't know. You just start. Yes. Like a lot of times you just start and then you be figuring out shit along the way.
Listen,
like
I did.
Yeah, like You feel like this didn't work. Okay, I've learned everything in just doing, and then I go back and say, okay, now we gotta do this. Okay, now we gotta do that. But the key is to just starting. So be proud of yourself that you just started. I don't drink. Is that alcohol? But we could do some cheers.
Yes, this wine.
That's wine.
I got you some water.
Okay, so we'll do it after. But
okay.
Cheers to you.
Yes, thank you. I turn up on this. This has been the Conversation Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie. Thank you for viewing and thank you for watching. We are here with the Miss Kendra G. Thank you, girl.